Hi, my name is JT Ellison. My book today is Good Girls Lie, and my previous books are Tear Me Apart and Lie to Me. Oh, I absolutely draw on real life cases, but I take them and I sensationalize them and I strip them apart so that only little bits of it actually make it into the story. But I don't have a trouble coming up with mysteries. That's something I think is just coded into my DNA. I walk down the street, I see something slightly off, and I immediately am launched off and running, trying to come up with a story that will fit the narrative. We did it at lunch today. I was like, ooh, I have to write that down. So it is something that truly is a natural place for me. Yes, it was, because it's been quite a while since I was a student. Part of the attraction to writing about the girls of the good school is they are incredibly intelligent, they are very mature, they are not your typical teenage girls. And as such, one of the things I wanted to avoid was them having cell phones, because I didn't think that would be a very exciting book. So I made a rule at Good that they're not allowed to have cell phones. Some people slip them in, of course, people are going to break the rules. But it was really important to me that they actually interacted with each other instead of through their screens, because I think there's a lot of bullying that goes on in the cyber world, but it certainly got its start in the real world. And this book has a lot of that in it. And it was important to me to actually see it firsthand, how they would interact with each other. I think they're fun characters. They are, again, a little bit on the high side as far as their intelligence. They come from affluent families, so they talk a little bit differently. They are a lot more mature, a lot more together, and I think that makes a big difference for the story. So there are so many incredible books out there. My go-to is Stephen King's On Writing. My feeling is, if it does not speak to you and make your wings just spread and soar, then you're not a writer. And that's fine. You don't have to be. But it is one of the books that is kind of a bellwether. The Albert Zuckerman has a really great book called How to Write a Blockbuster Novel. And that teaches how to outline, which I think is really important for new writers to be able to think through an entire story. Most people who have trouble with writing have a tendency to start a story, they've got a great beginning, they get 20 pages in, and then they don't know where to go. So the Zuckerman book is fantastic for that. Elizabeth George's Right Away is also just perfect for a beginning writer or somebody who's trying to change genres, want to do something different with their career. They can read this book, and she really gives an idea of how to develop characters, because as we all know, character is story. So you've got to have great characters. And the last one is one that I just started reading. Patricia Highsmith wrote a book called Plotting for Suspense Writing. And it is really life-changing. I've written 24 books, and I'm learning new things that I'm going to be applying to my next book. So I highly encourage you to try that one out as well. That there's not a lot of routine to it. I used to have an absolute, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, that was my writing time, and I only did that. As my career has changed and grown, as the responsibilities and all the different things and deadlines and this and that, I kind of write whenever I can. And so sometimes that's in the morning, starting at 10 o'clock. If I can get 1,000 words before noon, oh, it's going to be a great day. Also, if I get pulled into another situation, I'm done. I've gotten my 1,000 words. I firmly believe that no matter what you have to do, you have to touch the story every day. really important to do that. So whether you are writing 1,000 words, or if you're editing a chapter, or if you're just looking at your outline and what you're going to do next, that is, to me, that's the process. So as much as I would like to just sit down from 1 to 4 and write that 1,000 words, it doesn't always happen that way. Talk less, listen more. That is absolutely what I would do. I think that there's a lot of impressive people out there that are more than happy to give you advice. And if you stop and listen and actually hear what they're saying, it will help you shortcut your career. It will help you become a better writer. It will make you a better person. And you'll make some friends along the way. And that's really something important. I'm reading Ruth Ware's Turn of the Key, which is absolutely outstanding, and I'm reading Jillian McMillan's The Nanny, which is also incredibly outstanding. These two books just, they're absolutely amazing. We've got some serious talent in the female suspense genre right now, and they're two of my absolute favorites. I have Lisa Unger's The Stranger Inside coming up, which I'm really excited about, and I'm also reading this Patricia Highsmith book about how to plot a suspense novel. So yeah, there's a few going on. Oh, I think I'm listening to Leigh Bardugo as well, Six of Crows. So I like to listen to a book and be reading a couple of books. And, if I get bored or I have a snatch of time, I can just go and do that.